All right, here we go. Monster Kid Media. This is going to be a real quick show. We wanted to do a rundown of our top three oh shit moments in horror films. And
And
by
it
that,
doesn't,
I don't mean like, I mean like surprising. I
yeah,
don't
it
mean
doesn't
so
have to
much
be
story.
gory. Yeah, it doesn't have to be gory. In fact, I think that we specifically went away from that
Yeah.
uh, because yeah, for me, it's not about the gory part. It's about like you're watching something and then something happens and you literally like let out a verbal like oh shit or like oh damn like so I think that's kind of what we're going for here.
All right. So I'm going to start off the rip. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want
And
to,
one thing you'll notice about this is that we don't talk about this stuff beforehand. So this is all going to be a surprise.
yeah,
We
we
might
don't
have the
really
same
know.
thing. We don't know.
The first one I bring up, we kind of talked about.
We did talk about a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So,
So my first one, and it's probably on your list, Sleepaway Camp.
yeah, no doubt.
Also, we're gonna have some spoilers here, so if we say a film that you haven't seen that want to see, maybe you shouldn't watch this. But Sleepaway Camp, she's got a dick. I wasn't ready for that, and
No,
it's not even subtle.
no.
Like,
Well, I mean, it is.
uh, first of all, you go out throughout this whole film thinking about this sweet, quiet girl,
Yep.
you know. Um, all right. So I'm kind of starting to get the idea she's got to be the killer.
Right.
But at the end,
Yeah, man. I think at the culmination of that, and then the music and the face, like, like it all just went.
the whole full
And
frontal,
yeah,
it's just weird.
well, like you saw that, like that, he killed, and you're like, oh man, and then she's making the weird face, and you're like, oh,
And that
that's
growl
crazy.
that she's doing, like
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
So it kind of like pans that face in itself, and that weird growl is already kind of weird and unsettling.
yes,
Then when they show that it's actually the brother out of the two kids that get killed in the very beginning,
hmm,
and then you start thinking, oh yeah, I guess they didn't really clarify who was killed, and it kind of starts to hit you, and you're like, oh shit. So
yeah,
much hits you all at once.
it
The
does.
dick, the face, the weird growl, and then
Growl,
you're like thinking, oh, that's not who I thought it was throughout the whole film.
yeah. So you literally like, oh, damn, like, that's that's absolutely perfect
And I'm gonna be
for
honest with you, that's probably um that's probably the first dick I ever saw that wasn't mine. No, no, I take that back. Because everybody sees dad dick.
on accident.
Yeah. Like when you're a kid and
You walk in because you don't knock on bathroom doors. You just open it up.
and it's weird because you're like at that height and it seems like it's so big and you're just like
Oh yeah, if I 15 inches at least.
it's an illusion when you're a kid. But it but at least when on screen, like I wasn't I should have prepared myself to see that wiener.
No, because you thought it was a chick.
Yeah. And being that age, being a kid,
Hmm.
I could tell you for sure that I hadn't really examined the girl parts. So
Right.
you have the VHS tape, and you're like, oh, this is it. I'm about to see it, and you're like,
And it's all grainy, so it's like, wait a second.
yeah. So I'm pausing it, like, is it is this a dick? What am I look? Anyway,
That,
that's my number one.
that's a good number one.
Is that on your list?
I mean, yeah. Well, so full disclosure, because we did talk about it, I did not put it on my list.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it's on my list. It
okay.
is on my list, but so my first one is I'm not sure if you've ever seen the movie because we've talked about this before.
All right, let's hear it.
So it's Aliens when
No, I never seen it.
with man.
And I know that's ridiculous because I'm such a huge horror fan, but I hated sci-fi. I, except for Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but go ahead.
Yeah, so an alien, I think I said aliens before, but an alien,
I can
the
edit that.
alien yeah,
I
the
can,
alien, you can do it, you have the technology.
yeah.
Um so you've never seen any of
No. And I don't like Sigourney Weaver. I don't not like her, but like I just don't like her face.
them. Okay. So an alien, uh the symbiote is I think that's not the symbiote, that's friggin'
Venom.
yeah, it's that I forget what they're called, but one of the aliens pops out of the guy's stomach. They're just sitting there eating, and
They're
it's
like
like a
I think they're called xenomorphs or something.
xenomorphs. Yeah.
Is that what they
So
are?
so I don't know. Man, look, you're asking
I
me
didn't
stuff I
see
don't
the
know.
fucking movie. This is your
All
pick.
right. Anyways, so it's a very innocuous scene. Like they're not really doing anything. They're just sitting around eating. Then all of a sudden the dude
Xenomorph.
starts. Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So all right. So all of a sudden the dude starts coughing and like you're like, oh, what's going on? And all of a sudden like he's like on the table and this alien like pops out of his stomach. Like I know it's probably been seen a lot now, and it's a trope, but when it happened, and I saw it as a kid, that messed me up.
So like I said, I haven't seen those films, but I know that scene.
Yeah.
I know it because it's so iconic.
Yeah. Well,
I
they did a spoof of it in Spaceballs.
It's been a really long time since I've seen Spaceballs.
Yeah. So the Spaceballs one, it actually I think that they used the same character from Alien, the guy,
You
and
know who else did a spoof of it?
I don't.
Do you remember the Roseanne Halloween shows?
Yeah, they
They were
did it.
awesome. Back in the
Oh
80s,
yeah, yeah, for
Roseanne
sure.
had some of the best Halloween episodes. Darlene said she didn't feel like dressing up this year or whatever. She said that her stomach hurt and she like had this puppet like in her shirt and she popped it out. So that was that scene.
Yeah. And I know that that's probably vanilla. Actually, probably all three of mine are pretty vanilla. I'm sure most people have seen them, and but that's just these are ones that I remember, and two of them are really from when I was younger, and it really impacted me. Like that was crazy when I saw it. I had no business watching that movie,
Well, that's why
but
we are the way we are.
that's not the way we are. But um, yeah, man, it was awesome. It was awesome.
So I would imagine I know that HR Geiger, um, his vision for those films is everybody loves it. He did an
Mm-hmm.
incredible job. I know that scene is iconic. I really just need to watch it. I
Yeah,
don't know, you know, it, I'm past due, but
yeah. I
I
mean,
can't
and I know
imagine
everybody
watching that
like
for the first time.
yeah, it's funny because when people talk about, and I'm sure we'll have a discussion about this about sequels and stuff. A lot of people say Aliens is better than Alien, you know,
I have
whatever.
the films. I just
They're both amazing.
maybe I will do a movie night and watch them.
There you go. I like it. So that's my first one.
The thing that's weird about these films too is when these films came out, there was no internet.
Hmm.
We're young, so we didn't have a real good grasp of what could be done in the special effects world. Everything was
Right.
kind of magical to our eyes.
Hmm.
So films like the Nightmare on Elm Street films and Alien and Aliens, there was so much put into those, and it's like it's almost
Well,
now I understand.
the
Yeah,
practical effect.
And the
And
practical
I think
effects.
that gives you much more of an impact than I think a lot of the stuff that is shown today. Because those practical effects, man,
I'm
they're legit.
practical all the way.
Oh,
CGI
absolutely.
sucks, but it has its place. I'll say that. But
It has its place. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know. People might say Alien. Well, that's not a horror movie. Blah blah blah. I mean, I think it is. It's a sci-fi horror.
yeah,
I think so.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I need to watch it.
and I don't even like sci-fi movies that much. Um, but Aliens, that's different.
So we
Sure.
talked about, yeah, you touched on sequels.
Yeah.
So my next pick is from a sequel
Okay.
that I think is better than the original. And that doesn't happen very often.
Wow.
Amityville 2.
Okay.
Have you seen Amityville 2?
A while ago. So.
Okay. So it's got Diane Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a prequel to Amityville. Amityville deals with the Lutz family that moves into this house. It's haunted. After in real life, it was the DeFeos.
Great, yeah.
Ronnie DeFeo killed his family, and he went to prison. They sold the house to the Lutzes. Lutzes said it was haunted. So this is kind of like a prequel, a very loosely based prequel.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a scene in it, and I don't know if this is going to fall into another category that we're probably going to talk about of shocking scenes. But
Mm-hmm.
Diane Franklin is the older sister.
Okay.
And there's an older brother that's roughly his age. And there's a scene in it that gets really cringy where he starts like kind of hitting on her in the bedroom upstairs with the windows.
Okay.
And it's like, this is kind of weird and hard to watch.
Yeah.
Well, and they don't really show it, but they definitely fuck. And that is just like, I can't believe you even put that in your movie. Like it was just
Right.
it was
That.
like cringy and gross, but it's also like you really wanted to push the envelope with this.
Oof.
And the sister comes downstairs and the mom's going upstairs and the mom's like, "What did you do with your brother?" And it's like,
Oh.
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 And I don't have sisters, and it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. So
But
was that just something that happened, or was he possessed? Like,
yeah, he wasn't just smashing his sister. It
well,
was
I don't. I
like,
mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm hoping, because you said I don't know why they put it in the movie, so maybe that's
well, they put it in so they could show like
messed up.
how messed up this dude was, but he was definitely possessed by the house. You really
Okay.
need to go watch that movie. It's
know.
better than the original.
And you keep saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really love the original, but that film I like a lot, and not because of
Because
that
of
part.
that scene.
Yeah, it's also got Paulie from Rocky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Burt Young. He's the dad. I love his role
Okay.
in that movie.
I
So
like all his roles.
that's my number two. The brother
Okay.
and sister smashing in Amityville 2.
Jeez.
What do you
So, all right. So I'm gonna build off yours. Again, another movie that I'm sure everybody has seen, but it's The Exorcist.
Oh God, I know where this is going.
Well, I don't really even want to talk about it, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll talk about it for you.
I mean, I will. So,
I mean, let's not really get into it.
yeah. Um. So obviously, when Reagan is
Yeah,
possessed,
that's all you gotta say.
that's a crucifix,
Yeah. So when
and the
that scene
demon.
happened,
Yeah.
like she raises it up,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, that's a really artsy scene because it kind of shows like the shadow or the
Yeah,
silhouette.
yeah,
So I'm like, oh, that's really kind of a beautifully shot scene. And then it's like in in a second, it's like, oh fuck. Did she
yeah,
just did she
yeah.
just
And that's kind of why it's my choice, because the whole time it's happening, like, is this like, is this happening?
yeah, and then she
Like,
starts talking.
yeah.
The
And
things
you're
that
like,
this little girl is saying, you're like, what?
what is happening
Can
right
you
now?
imagine in being in the theater in the 70s when I keep going back to this, but there's no, not that the internet is like the end all be all of knowledge, but you have really no knowledge as to what you're about to watch.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Unless you know somebody and they're like, listen,
There's this
yeah.
whole scene in there that's going to make you really uncomfortable.
So
But
they talk about people running out of these films, right? That's
yeah, like
probably when
growing up.
people like left. They
Yeah.
probably didn't run out. They're probably like, okay,
Yeah, I don't want to be on a list somewhere, so I'm not gonna.
I've had enough of Exorcist today.
Crazy scene. That is a crazy scene. I don't know why I didn't think to put that on my list, but
I'm surprised because when we were talking about it and we didn't want to give anything away. I mean, the only one we gave away was Sleepaway Camp, just because I think we've talked about that so much. I you said that you had one in your head that was a one word, and I thought for
it's
sure
not
it was that one.
that's not that one, no, but that
That
should
one.
be. Um
Because again, it's not necessarily gory. It's not necessarily. I mean, but
I mean, it's a little bloody.
it's a little bloody, but it's just that whole movie really
No.
isn't really super bloody. It's not. It's just so creepy and so good.
And that's what makes great horror films. You
Yes.
know, the anticipation. Not so much the gore, not so much the blood, but the anticipation of what's going to happen.
Mhm.
But dude, that scene. And I've watched documentaries on how they shot it and how she didn't really understand what she was doing. I mean, a 12-year-old,
Yeah,
it's just
but yeah, and then you think about it, and you go, man, that was a wild time, and just because everything that's happening now, um, you would never see that, and I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing that you would never see that.
yeah. I mean,
It, I guess it
I,
has its place, but I don't know. Like if they re-release that movie and they're like, "Hey, we took out this part," I'm not going to be like, "Oh, no, you need to leave it in there." No, I'd be fine with it.
I think that people maybe were more religious then too.
Yeah,
That made it so much crazier.
yeah, yeah,
It seems like nowadays people are kind of going more away from religion.
yeah. Like, could you imagine if that movie came out now? It probably would. I mean, what would its rating be? Like, it's just funny because it came out as an R, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Um, but today, would they even rate it?
Yeah, I don't know with the rating system now.
Yeah,
Everybody's so sensitive about things.
mhm.
They wouldn't, I can't imagine they would put it in like they did. And I haven't seen the new Exorcist. I'm sure there's nothing like that in it though.
Yeah. I guess it's on Prime now or something. The New Exorcist.
Yeah,
So we'll have to watch it. I mean, I haven't heard good things, but
I haven't either.
yeah.
My mind
I went
is,
I went through the Exorcist haunted house at the Universal
oh yeah,
Horror
yeah.
Night.
That looked
It was
good.
good. It was good.
I watched videos of it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. But so that was my second one. So we each have one more. All right. Do you have any that are like an honorable mention? Because I have an honorable mention.
I did, but I changed. I erased it to make this video shorter.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
I'll do my third, and then you want to do your honorable mention, or do you have your third?
I have a third. Yeah, I have a third and an honorable mention.
Okay. Well, the one that I thought we were on the same page with is Terrifier, and it's nothing like any kind of masturbation scene or anything. like we had previously talked about. But and it's not even it's this split second. It's towards the end of the film. Art the Clown has been like cutting chicks up with hacksaws and
Yeah.
doing all this crazy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then at the end of the film, he turns around, he pulls out a gun and he shoots the person. And it's like, to me, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like guns really aren't scary to me,
Yeah.
you know? That's why most horror villains don't have guns. It's usually knives or whatever.
Yeah.
But just like to think this dude had this gun this whole time and he could have just been walking around shooting people. I
Oh, that's a
wasn't
way to think
expecting
about it.
that gun to be pulled out and
Well,
that
we talked.
that shit was
We
in your
talked
bag
about
the whole time. This movie could have been 10 minutes,
the over.
but you're cutting chicks in half. So
We talked about that.
we
And
did when it first came
I
out.
hated. I love the movie. I was like, and I told you, I was like, I hate one part.
Yeah.
And you're like, the gun. I was like, I don't understand. Yeah. Like, he pulls out a gun.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't hate it now.
Mhm.
It kind of makes me realize that this character is out of his fucking mind.
Wait, yeah. What gave you that idea?
You know what I mean? Like you
And
could
to
have
hear,
just slimline
man,
this
we could
whole
do it.
process and just pop, pop, pop,
Yeah.
all dead. But no, you want to chase him around and cut him in half,
Oh, dude.
and then
Well,
like
that
the
that'll
whole
be for a
woman
later video.
skin thing. That's an honorable mention when he puts he
Yep.
Ed Geins that lady and he's dancing around.
That's is that Terrifier though?
That's
Or
terrifying when she's hiding in the locker.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
talking about Silence of the Lambs.
no. I'm just mixing up my Terrifiers because
Oh, okay.
there's so much stuff. And so I know that you talked earlier, and we're again going off topic here, but you talked earlier about like, for us, horror movies aren't gore and that kind of thing. Meanwhile, Terrifier is
That's gory.
level 11 with it, right? But we again, well, I don't want to get too much into it because we talked about art, we talked about that whole thing. So we'll just let that be, and we'll talk about that another time. But
Yeah, I don't know what it is. If that was another film, I don't know that I would like it so much. And it took me a long time to watch it because I don't really care about clowns. I
yeah,
thought it was just gonna be a stupid movie.
mm-hmm.
But Damien Leone is the guy who created that world. He does a really good job of keeping like a gritty, dreamlike quality to the film. And I
Yep,
think he does a really, really good job in Terrifier 2 with that. The whole film kind of seems like a dream.
yeah, yeah. And I don't do they. So they is that on purpose how they film it,
I don't know.
or is that because it seems like it's filmed like a, like a midnight Cinemax movie, right?
Yeah, I think I'm sure it's on purpose. A mix
Okay.
between being low budget and on purpose.
Yeah.
Don Coscarelli did the same thing with his early films,
Mm-hmm.
like Kenny and Company and Phantasm.
Mm-hmm.
He even used like this filming style that kind of gave it this weird like haze.
Okay.
It was almost like a dream
Yeah.
like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
I don't know if I ever see him, I'll ask him like at a
Right.
convention or something. Did you do this on
Yeah.
purpose? So that's my number 3.
Okay. So, you want me to say my third one or my little honorable mention?
Hit me with both.
All right. So my honorable mention, and we'll go real quick, is in Fright Night.
All right.
When it's like near the end,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like downstairs, I think, in the basement, and the chick is like going at it on the guy, and then she turns around, and her face is like a vampire face. I was like, oh man. Again, I had no frame of reference for it.
You weren't ready for it.
I was not ready for that at all.
So
I just
seeing that as a young man,
yeah. it made an impression.
Yeah, did it make you high alert for that could really happen?
High alert for trickery and deceit.
Trickery and deceit is rampant up in here.
It is
Just garlic before you come over.
Yeah. We're gonna get pizza. Drink this water.
That's your honorable mention?
That's my honorable mention.
All right.
So my number one, so I saw this in the theater. It's Saw, the end of Saw.
Oh yeah.
And when he gets up off the floor, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming at all.
I didn't either. The Saw movies to me, I'm not crazy about, but I really like that first one.
The first one, yeah, exactly. So I haven't really watched the other ones because I'm not the whole like game. All right, I get it. You did it one time, okay, cool, and I liked how it ended and everything. But yeah, when he got up off the floor, it was just like it was
like this dude has been alive this whole time, and he's the one
that's just laying there.
Yeah. I didn't think about that at all. The Saw movies, they annoy me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, it's
that first one, like Scream. Like I don't care about the Scream movies, but the first one, it was a groundbreaking type of film at the time,
right.
And I don't know I wouldn't say groundbreaking. Maybe it was refreshing to see that type of film in the 90s when horror kind of sucked.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that the Scream movie. I mean, obviously you had one of the top actresses in the world at the time, die in the first 10 minutes. Spoiler.
Yeah.
But, and then the two killers at the end, that kind of thing. So that could be one of those surprising things, right?
I mean, I think that's a good honorable mention. Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
She's a huge actress.
Yeah.
She gets killed within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And I like half expected her to come back throughout the movie, but like, no, she's dead.
Yeah. Oh, her intestines are on the ground. But yeah, Saw. I mean, we don't have to really get into the movie, but that ending, man, when he gets up and
that slow get up off the ground.
Well, because you were just watching Carrie Elwes. I don't even know how you pronounce his last name.
The Princess Bride guy.
Yeah, Princess Bride guy, right? Oh, Robin Hood Men in Tights guy.
No, yeah.
Either one. You see him sawing his leg off. You're like, oh, and you just got over that, and then you see this guy get up, and you're like, wait a second, and it's the dude.
Click.
And then he just shuts the door. That was great. That's a great ending. That's a great ending. But
I think all of our oh shit moments kind of hit us at different times in our lives, but they're definitely all great moments.
Yeah, and I know there's hundreds more, I'm sure. I can think of off the top of my head, but those are the ones that I just really remember and have stuck with me, whether good or bad. It doesn't necessarily I want to see it again or ever, but yeah.
So that's our top 3 oh shit moments.
Yeah. If you have any that you want to say, any 9 subscribers or 8, because
leave them in the comment box. Mike, you could probably comment on your own video.
Oh, can I do that?
Yeah.
Your
video, comment. It's like when people like post Instagram pictures and then they like it. Like, yeah, of course you like it. You posted it. You self-centered prick. You're liking your own shit. That's whatever. So
this is fun though, man. I've second video.
This is fun.
I don't know if the keen eyes have noticed that we're in the same clothes. So maybe this video happened on the same day.
I'm pretty sure that nobody's gonna watch, and that's okay.
I prefer them not to.
Yeah, we're not doing this for anybody else but us. We make money doing other things. So if you did watch, thanks for watching. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. Leave comments, oh shit moments. You can leave criticisms if you want, but again, we aren't gonna give a shit. So thanks for
If you
watching.
want to talk about that Jason X poster in the back, why is that up?
The movie sucks. It was a free poster. It has good parts, but
It does.
Jason's face, no.
It
Anyway,
had a good kill scene. So
you're in. We'll talk about that later. I know which one you're gonna say.
all right, man.
All right. Till next time. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.